The Cheating Death Podcast is a satirical program containing objective, transparent, and direct information about anything and everything under the sun. We are not political. We are not religious. We are merely analytical. And some tell us we're prodigious, which is fantastic. So keep that in mind as you dive down the rabbit hole of finding more opportunities to believe in yourself, dear listener, because by now you are firmly aware you are listening to The Cheating Death Podcast. On today's episode of The Cheating Death Podcast, your benevolent host, your benevolent dictator, provides insight on how to embrace your art, how to look towards the sun, and how to look inside the mirror and see exactly what truly is, how you dwell, how things sell, and how we can keep ourselves from channeling the hell. We understand, dear listeners, that life is not an easy solution for any of us to acquire, nor is it easily read. We do all that we can to provide insight and opportunity to those in whom are looking for answers to build upon their own foundations. We also provide you with an all-new joke of the episode, some 5 more 2010s metal songs, and yes, we do cheat a bit. It is predominantly Rammstein. It is predominantly hypocrisy-related, so what? And we also provide you with an all-new Annihilation Announcement. All this and more, dear listeners, on this daily beautiful episode of the Cheating Death Podcast. When we take into consideration just exactly how much we have ahead of us, we know what to do, dear listeners. We damn well know what to do by now, and that is grab your iced coffee, put your feet up, and let us tell you how you can cheat death. This is your news anchor, the Cleric of Chaos, and this is your Annihilation Announcement. The next time you are outside, dear listener, and you look towards the sky, and it is blue in complexion with very few, if any, clouds across the sky, which we deem so beautiful and so benevolent, do you see a cloud? Do you hear the sounds of the world around you? Do you see the nature of the beast that dwells in front of you? Perhaps there is an opportunity to see things from a different perspective in this particular vantage point, dear listener. There are no obstacles in which cannot be overcome through adversity, through hard work, through taking care of every single element of doubt that you have within you. We all understand that there are some things in this life that are very scary, very horrifying, very tumultuous, very turbulent, and very tormenting. However, We will not grow as people if we come to a point in time to where we do not allow ourselves to truly see exactly what it is that we are going to move towards, what we are going to find inside of our souls. Is it that we really are concerned about inward reflection to a point to where we do not want to confront the demons that are inside of our minds and or our souls? Why? Why is it that so many look at these things as a potential barrier to success or to happiness, when quite frankly, each and every single element of this world has been built into you? You are a carbon-based life form. You are stardust in its very physical form. And yet we still look at ourselves from a perspective of, oh, why can't I do this? Why won't I do that? All that negative mind speak is doing absolutely nothing but destroying you in a way that you do not see until it is far too late. We ask ourselves a litany of questions, often which the times they do not have answers that will make us happy, nor will they satisfy us. So instead, we continue. We live in a world of instant gratification, oversimplification, and each and every single destructive situation emanates and falls from the continuous realization that individuals would much rather ask a ChatGPT a question and acquire an answer and take that as gospel than actually do the work themselves. How is it that we have reached a point where we do not have the energy nor the desire to fight with everything that we have, to wage war upon ourselves, to move into a direction to where we are going to be better, stronger, more powerful? How? How have we reached this point? With all the modern technology and all the hopes and dreams that everything could possibly provide, we do not give ourselves enough grace, enough patience, enough time. These things are inevitably going to happen. Rejection, failure, ends of friendships, ends of relationships, having to move to a new facility, having to move on in life as a whole. And we ask ourselves questions that often have no answers. We take time that we don't have to do things that make no sense. And yet, we still walk around as if we are the ultimate species on this planet. All because we built a whole bunch of buildings, provided ourselves with a whole bunch of unique insight into a world that quite frankly treats us like bacteria that we are, and we still come up short each and every single day in almost every conceivable way. Doesn't matter what end of the financial spectrum or social spectrum you're on, you could be at the lowest of the low, and you could be at the highest of the high. And still, you will experience these things because that is part of the human condition. And if in the event that you are finding yourself struggling with areas of opportunity, dear listener, do what you can. Be yourself. Fight for tomorrow. Live for today. Never, ever allow yourself to fall victim to the subjective interpretation of your peers, of anyone in whom chooses to chastise you without providing a potential resolution. Just do what you can. Be yourself. And if somebody gives you advice, if somebody offers you some feedback, listen to it. Apply it. Do everything that you can to build yourself into the person that you always wanted to be. They took time to tell you that you are doing a thing, and here is what you can do to be better. Listen to those words. Heed their warnings. And when you wake up in the morning and you see your brain for what it is, do what you can to feed it in the most productive way possible. So we'll believe in you until time stands still, dear listener. And that is always going to be how life makes itself a little bit more beautiful. This has been your news anchor, the Cleric of Chaos, and this has been your Annihilation Announcement. Willkommen, 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 meine Freunde. Guten Morgen, guten Tag und eine gute Nacht. Ist deine Reisende und deine Ausländer, deine Allesfresser, deine Cleric of Chaos. Und ich bin es fein, es verreist aus dem eines Tages an deiner Matranen es voran. Und wir vermehren das Licht. Und heute ist ein schöner Tag. Embracing your art, dear listeners, that is a subjective term to which can take on so many unique forms and so many different ways in principle. that we often ask ourselves exactly how it is that we can move forward in a world that seems to be slightly apathetic to our situation and to our conditions. There is no easy answer to any of the questions that we seek throughout the course of time. We can find ourselves from a position to where we do not necessarily see the sun because the clouds are in the way. But approaching it from a mental perspective and seeing it for exactly what it is, we know full well that as the roads cross and as the skies come to meet each other in a beautiful mishmash of cloud versus clarity, that we have a chance on this planet. We have a chance to embrace our art, to love ourselves, to take care of ourselves to a point to where we are capable of just about anything. We can do everything that we set out to do. But how we go about it while embracing our art and looking into the mirror and seeing exactly what type of work we can do to further increase our connections, our confidence, our clarity, there's quite a bit that we can do that will assist in this realm. First and foremost, you need to believe in what you do. It may be difficult to apply, but when you really truly fully believe that you are capable of doing what you are doing, then you are in a very, very good place, dear listener. A very good place. Finding yourself in a position where you truly believe in what it is that you are putting out into the world is an excellent way of seeing yourself for exactly what you can do. Number 2, understand, and we have said this time and time again, and we'll continue to say it, that rejection and failure, stops and goes and stops and goes and stops and goes are all part of life, especially in art. Whether you are a musician, whether you are a comedian, whether you are an entertainer, whether you are a dancer, whether you are a performer, whether you are an MC, whether or not you are a DJ, doesn't matter. All of these elements, all of these particular fixtures, they mean so much over the course of time. But do they really identify everything about you? No. They're just small critical components as to exactly how you are trying to make your way in this world. In no way, shape, or form does that joke you told about the differences between peanuts and cashews or pizza and panzerottis make you a person in whom that is their only association or affiliation? No. It's part of who you are. It's part of embracing who you are trying to be. And especially when you take into consideration that those particular types of jokes, if you are a one-liner dropper or if you are a storyteller, it is not lost on society to understand exactly what you must do to get to that next level. Embracing yourself, being happy with who you are, while also working on your goals, while also trying your best, dear listener. This is what we mean by embracing your art. Embrace the understanding. Embrace the differences. Look at every single opportunity that you have. Look at all of the beautiful places that you may or may not have been and yet you still would like to go to. It is time that we all look at ourselves from a serious perspective, while also understanding that art is a beautiful thing. And if you're talented, you're skilled, you're gifted, and you've had some beautiful areas of opportunity to where you have succeeded, tremendous, fantastic. We're really proud of you. But please understand, the moment you get told no, or the moment you are rejected, or the moment you have a particular difference of opinion with somebody as it pertains to your work or your art or anything else to that nature, do what you can to use that information productively, to move forward, to identify, to quantify. Because we know at the end of the day, dear listener, life is difficult. It isn't easy. You can't be hard on yourself all the time. You cannot allow yourself to move into a perspective to where you are constantly beating yourself down, whether it be mentally, emotionally, physically. It doesn't really matter. We do what we can. We're all human beings. We're all fixtures of this universe. And whether or not you believe that history is a flat circle, or whether you believe that it is all taking place all at once, you have a unique and robust opportunity to show people exactly what you're made of. Embrace your art. Embrace yourself. Embrace who you are. And never, ever stop fighting for tomorrow. Until next time, dear listeners, thank you for tuning in today. Take care of yourselves and each other. At the top of today's episode, we promised you a top 5 list of our favorite 2010s metal songs, and without further ado, let's rapid fire it and dive right in. Coming in at number 5, we have The End of Disclosure from Hypocrisy. Coming in at number 4, we have Soldier of Fortune from Hypocrisy. Coming in at number 3, we have one of the greatest songs about the chosen ones of all time, and that is Starseeds by Pain. Coming in at number 2, we have Natural Born Idiot by Pain. And coming in at number 1, we have Radio Deutschland und one of the phenomenal ones, Hollow Man by Rammstein. What are your top 5? Comment below or email us at thecheatingdeathpodcast@gmail.com. Today's joke has been brought to you by the Cleric of Chaos. Some people, downright just don't really like to fail. Not really big fans of rejection, These things can kind of be a bit bothersome. But your host here was born in East Germany at the fall of the Soviet Union. I have come to love failure. In fact, you can call me your Führer of failure. How it looks to embrace your art from one particular perspective to another can vary from person to person, from idea to idea, from brain to brain. But what we fail to see, more often than not, is that each and every single step we take, regardless of whether it be a step forward, a step back, a step sideways, a step diagonally, or if you're in the 7th dimension, a step upside down backwards to the left side, we are still making progress. We are still trying. We are still doing what we can. We're still calculating, and we're still waging war upon mediocrity and upon the very burdens of hell that wage themselves and their hard impact upon our lives. There are no excuses when it comes down to the overall understanding as to exactly how one is to embrace their art. You have to look in the mirror. You have to listen to yourself. You have to look at what you do. Take the textbook examples of imagery as well as the other symptoms of creation that you find yourself under. The ones where you're up at 3 o'clock in the morning and you want to do something, but you're not quite sure exactly what it is, but you need to draw, you need to write, you need to sing, you need to compose, you need to record, you need to do something. These elements, dear listener, are not necessarily lost on the vast majority of individuals in whom so shall choose their benefits as well as choose their destruction. We look at everything from a particular vantage point, and more as we go throughout life, we see that life is not necessarily up, it is not necessarily down, nor it is left, nor is it right. It is gray, more often than not. And yet, we still plague ourselves with the burdens of the mind that we would not put upon our best friends or our strongest confidants. Why is it that we do this? Well, it's put simply. Embracing our art puts us into a particular position where we are at a crossroads. We allow ourselves to think, we allow ourselves to feel, we allow ourselves to do a multitude of things over the course of time, but one of those things that we do not do, dear listeners, is give ourselves enough grace and enough patience and enough understanding and enough resilience and enough feeling. We do not owe anyone any explanations. We do not need to validate ourselves externally. We do not need to look at people as if they are obstacles or barriers to get through. This is where a lot of people fall flat. This is where some things go wrong. We look at people incorrectly and assume that they are there to take our spot, or that they are there to try to do what they can to get above us by stepping on our heads. It's not how it works. In art, yes, there are absolutely some cutthroat individuals, as well as some particular industries in which are capitalistic in nature, and they try to identify and quantify the reasons for their particular departures from the overall standard bearing of making one a group of collected souls in whom will rise together. This is exactly one of the things that we need to do better as a species. We need to start believing in each other. We need to start moving forward as a team. We need to start embracing the idea, the notion that just because we're trying to bring somebody up does not necessarily mean that they are going to step on our heads and cause us to fail. This is one of the ideologies where it is quite clear and is quite blunt that people need to start believing in their art. Embrace who you are. If it is something that is catatonic in nature from a delivery system, fantastic, embrace that. If you are erratic and symptomatic of anything that may be slightly anti-somatic, somatic, sleep, not anti-Semitic, somatic, sleep. We need to build on that. We need to embrace it. We need to understand that this is exactly how life is, and this is what we do. Build together. Stay strong. and do everything that you can to wage war on mediocrity in your own way. Because after all, life is not easily explainable by any of the identified measures within the parameters in which our brains operate. So embrace yourself, embrace your art, embrace your community, and if you are capable, bring people up with you, because the view from the top looks so much better when there's other people there to celebrate their victories alongside you. Until next time, dear listener, thank you for tuning in today. Take care of yourselves and each other. The Cheating Death Podcast is brought to you by Nach dem Leben CRDVC, Cleric of Chaos, and where you can find all podcasts on all platforms. Please subscribe to the youtube.com/@ClericofChaos channel. We are trying to reach 100 subscribers before the end of the year. This summer, the end of the summer 2026, we shall do our best to reach that goal. If you'd like to support the program, you may do so by following the links in the description, purchasing some merchandise, buying a cameo, or if you are social inclined, you may buy us a coffee as well. Please be sure to follow all of our very talented comedian, phenomenal actors, professional athlete extraordinaires. Please follow Alex Burke and his comedy over at instagram.com/AlexBurke. Please follow Darren Burke, the legendary host of the Backrooms Comedy Club open mics and outstanding drink slinger extraordinaire, and his information can also be found at the information in the links and podcast and episodes description. Follow Backroom Comedy Club for outstanding shows every Wednesday through Sunday, 5 nights a week, 8 p.m. and 10 p.m., 814 Bloor Street West. You are going to have yourself one heck of a time. And be sure to follow all of the Cleric of Chaos' social media located down in the bottom of the description of the podcast's episodes and descriptions as well. And if you or anyone you know are experiencing psychiatric duress, emergency calamities, substance abuse, withdrawal, family violence, domestic violence, or more, please consult the telephone numbers listed in the links in the episodes and in the podcast description as well. If you are looking at adopting a playful puppy or a cute kitten, please visit your local animal adoption rescue center, for they are in dire need of your support. And if you are looking for a delicious, tasty treat, head on down to 10 College Street at W Burger Bar anytime, Monday through Sunday, 11 a.m. through 2 a.m., and find yourself on the beneficial upside of a $9.99 lunch with a burger and a side here with fries and or onion rings, and you can even get yourself a $9.99 fish bowl for lovely, delicious beverages, great times, and good friends. Head on down to W Burger Bar today. And dear listeners, we understand that life is not an easy track. It is not a solution to which can be easily identified by looking in a book and applying those particular answers. Absolutely not. But we need you to understand that failure, rejection, and every single element of negativity is a part of life. And the more we trudge through it, the more we break through those barriers, the more we are teaching ourselves exactly what we are capable of. And remember, we're pulling for you. We're all in this together.